Okay, so we've all been there, right? That moment every homeowner kind of dreads. You're just walking up to your house, minding your own business, and then you see it, that little spot of paint that's peeling or bubbling, and your mind just starts to spin. Is this a tiny little problem, or is this the tip of a really, really expensive iceberg?
And that's the big question, isn't it? Is this something you can knock out in a weekend with a quick fix, or are you staring down the barrel of a full-blown repaint? Well, let's take all that guesswork out of the equation.
Because really, it is time to stop guessing. We're going to walk through a really clear way to understand what your house is actually trying to tell you. That way, you can make a decision that's smart, not just stressful.
So first things first, we have to learn how to read the signs. You got to think of failing paint as a symptom, not just something that looks bad. A good paint job should last you anywhere from 5 to 10 years. So when you see these signs, they're telling you a story about what's really going on with your home's protective shell.
Let's start with the most obvious one, peeling paint. When you see paint peeling away, it means it's literally losing its grip on the surface. Now, this could be just from old age, sure, but it could also be moisture sneaking its way underneath, or, maybe the surface just wasn't prepped right the last time it was painted.
And then you've got bubbling or blistering. This one almost always, and I mean almost always, points to one main culprit. Moisture, water, or even just humidity is getting trapped under that paint, pushing it away from the wall, and boom, you've got bubbles.
And that brings us right to failing caulk. Think of the caulk around your windows and trim, like the flexible armor for your home's weak spots. When that armor starts to crack and pull away, it's like leaving a door wide open for water to get in and cause the exact kind of bubbling and peeling we were just talking about.
Now, if you see exposed wood, that's a different level. That means the battle in that specific spot has been lost. Your home's protective coating is totally gone, and the wood itself is now vulnerable to the elements. This is a huge signal that you need to act, because fixing this is going to take a lot more prep work before you can even think about repainting.
So here's the key takeaway from all this. Seeing one tiny spot of peeling paint by itself, probably not a disaster. But when you start seeing a combination of these signs, maybe some peeling over here, failing caulk around that window, a few bubbles on another wall, that's your house screaming that there's a bigger issue. It's time for a proper look.
So how do you actually make the call? Well, let's get right into the checklist. This is going to be your go-to tool for diagnosing what's happening with your own home so you can figure out the right way forward. Okay, let's break this down. On the left, you can see a simple repair might do the trick. We're talking about a small, isolated issue where the paint around it is still in really solid shape. But then look at the right side. If you're seeing wear and tear on multiple sides of your house, or if there's peeling and bubbling in several different spots, or if the paint just looks kind of tired and faded everywhere, a full repaint is probably the smarter move.
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. If the problems are all over the place, trying to fix them with a bunch of little touch-ups is just going to make your house look like a patchwork quilt. A full repaint, on the other hand, gives you a brand new, perfectly uniform protective layer.
But hey, what if you look at all this and you're still not sure? Well, if you have a hunch that moisture is the real root cause, or if there's one stubborn area that keeps failing no matter what you do, getting a professional opinion is absolutely the smartest move. It'll keep you from overspending on a repaint you don't need, or worse, ignoring a small problem until it becomes a huge one.
All right, you've learned to read the signs, you've gone through the checklist, so let's talk about what's next. It's time to turn that diagnosis into an actual plan. So what should you do right now? Look, if the issue is genuinely tiny and isolated and there's no wood exposed, you can probably just wait and keep a close eye on it. But if you see any visible peeling or bubbling, if those caulk joints are opening up, or if you see any exposed wood at all, it's time. It's time to call a pro and get an estimate.
This is a question I get all the time from homeowners. If I just ignore it for another year, will it really make a difference in how much it costs? And the honest answer is, yeah, it usually does. Waiting just gives moisture more time to sneak in and lets the damage spread. And that almost always means the job down the road will involve more scraping, more sanding, more repairs, and ultimately a bigger price tag.
So let's wrap this all up with your action plan. It's a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, take a walk around your home. Really inspect it for those warning signs. Step 2, use that checklist we talked about to help choose your path. And step 3, if you are in doubt at all, or the signs are everywhere, get a professional review. Get some real clarity.
At the end of the day, just remember this. Your home's paint is so much more than just a color you picked out. It is its first line of defense against everything nature throws at it.
So the real question to ask yourself is, are you giving that protective shield the attention it actually needs?